already? Um, Welcome. I wanted to speak today about is discuss in the past the role of Eliyahu Hanavi in the coming of Moshiach. Just wanted to get a little bit more focus on a few more specific details. The Rambam writes like this. The Rambam writes that that it seems from the simple reading of the words of the Nevi'im that in the beginning of the days of Moshiach there'll be the war of Gog and Magog, and before the war of Gog and Magog, Yamid Navi, a Navi will appear, will come, his job will be Liyashi Yisrael Lach and Libam, to set the Jewish people straight, to prepare their hearts. Like it says, I'm sending you Eliyahu Hanavi Lifnei Bo Yom Hashem Hagadol V'Hanor, before the great and awesome day of Hashem will come, which is the war where the Rambam seems to be learning here. It refers to the day of the war of Gog and Magog. And he says he's not coming to make impure what is accepted as pure, and not to make pure what is accepted as impure. Not to take people that are known as kosher, that they're allowed to intermarry amongst the Jewish people, and make them say that they're no good. And also, he's not coming to be machshir. You have psula yuchsin. You have people that are. We're not talking about someone that's non-Jewish. We're talking about someone that's Jewish, but there was questions of mamzeras, of that they're forbidden. So you had different families that were forcefully either restricted, that the mafia came along, whatever they had in those days, and didn't let people marry them, and vice versa. There were families that weren't supposed to intermarry, that were, that people, whatever, people didn't, people made sure that, that people would intermarry with them. So Eliyahu Hanavi is not going to come to set the record straight in that regard. What is he coming for? He's coming to make peace in the world. He's going to return the hearts of fathers and sons, make peace between the father and the sons. And the Rambam finishes off that some sages say that before Moshiach will come, Eliyahu Hanavi will come. Then the Rambam right away makes this famous disclaimer that all these things, we don't know how they're going to happen until they're going to happen, because the Psukim themselves don't give us much clarity, and even the Chachamim, whatever they say is not that they have a clear tradition on this, but whatever they said is based on their interpretations of the Psukim. Now, we have the sources of the Rambam, the way the Rebbe explains. The sources of the Rambam is, there's a few places in Gemara that speak about the coming of Eliyahu. One place is in the end of Masechta Edis. Masechta Edis is a tractate that it's a Mishnayos, where people testified things that they heard from their teachers. And at the end of Masechta Edis, it says that, I forget exactly the names, whoever said it, but it was the name of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, that he says that the coming of it, there's a machlokes, for what is Eliyahu Hanavi going to come? Is he going to come to do this, to do that? Like the number of things that the Rambam lists, different, whether he's coming to set the record straight in matters of lineage or other things. So there's different opinions, and the final opinion, the Chachamim say that Eliyahu Hanavi is coming to make peace in the world. And the Rambam paskins like the Chachamim. And the Rambam explains that that Moshe Rabbeinu already told Yidden that Eliyahu Hanavi will come. It was a tradition already handed down from Moshe Rabbeinu, even before there's a pasuk in Malachi, which was the last Navi that we had before. Says it was the last official Navi that his prophecies are recorded in Tanakh as a prophecy. So he finishes off that I'm going to send you Eliyahu Hanavi before the great and awesome day of Hashem will come. But even before the Navi Malachi said that, was already a tradition handed down from Moshe Rabbeinu that Eliyahu Hanavi will come.
Was before Eliyahu.
Well, Pinchas Eliyahu, so
Ha?
or if you learn Pinchas Eliyahu, the way that Rebbe learns Eliyahu Hanavi was a Malach originally, so then however it goes. Yeah, so Moshe Rabbeinu told Eden about Eliyahu Hanavi that he will prepare the world for Mashiach. What exactly this preparation will include wasn't clearly Moshe Rabbeinu didn't, so to say, clearly say, and therefore there arose a dispute amongst the Chacham and what he's going to do. And the Rebbe explains, Mefarshim explained, the dispute really it centers around the meaning of the pasuk V'heshiv levavis al banim. There's different ways of interpreting the pasuk, whether matter in the yanam of yuchsin, of lineage, or other things. That, in other words, in the way that Rambam explains it in Pirush and Mishnah, we're told that Eliyahu Hanavi will remove the injustice. He will take away the negative things before Mashiach will come. The question is, what negative things does that mean? Some people say that what's negative is the lineage isn't in order. Other people say. The final halach is that he'll take away hate. He'll take away fights. He's going to come to make peace in the world. Good. Then there's another Gemara. The Gemara says, it's a famous thing that everyone knows, that Eliyahu Hanavi will come to be Mavasa the Gula. The Gemara discusses that the person says that I'm going to be another day, Moshiach will come. Whatever, I don't want to get into the whole Gemara, but basically the Gemara says that if Eliyahu Hanavi didn't come, Mashiach can't come, because Eliyahu Hanavi will come a day before Mashiach comes. And he brings a pasuk, Kini Nechi Shlech Lechem Es Eliyahu Hanavi, that the Eibush will send Eliyahu Hanavi before the great day of Hashem comes, which is the coming of Mashiach. And from that Gemara, it seems, the Gemara doesn't say anything that Eliyahu Hanavi will do. It seems pretty clearly that Eliyahu Hanavi is coming to be Mavasa the Gula, to tell us that Mashiach will come. Now, the Rambam, before we get to the Rambam, the Rebbe has a whole sikha about this. I'll start backwards, then I'll make things simple. The Rebbe has a whole sikha about this. And the Rebbe has a very, very interesting approach to this whole halacha of the Rambam, which, I mean, it's similar to the Rebbe's approach. I mean, the Rebbe used the same idea and other things. The Rebbe asks a very, what you might call a klotz kash. The Rebbe asks, how is it possible that there should be a machlokes b'mitzias? How could there be a argument about what's going to happen? We have a klal, we have a rule. There can't be a machlokes. You can't have an argument. And a fact is a fact. How could you argue about a fact? So,
maybe what happened before I understand what happened in der Kriegensach. I'm not saying, I mean, the Shaila nicht as a grace.
You believe it's going to happen, but you can't. The fact is going to happen. It's the same problem.
I believe that Rebbe explained that in other places that I think that point that the Rebbe discussed a few times of having machlokes b'mitzias. If I'm not mistaken, the Rebbe holds that even something can happen in the future. So you can't have a machlokes what's going. In other words, in a fact, either it's like this or like that. The taka didn't happen yet, so it could happen. In other words,
What is stronger on the past than on the future?
So the Rebbe says like this. The Rebbe says that the Rebbe explains that there's no argument what Eliyahu Hanavi will do. It's a very interesting approach of the Rebbe. The argument is not what he will do. The argument is like this. We know that Eliyahu Hanavi's arrival is as a preparation for the coming of Moshiach. Which pu'ulos that he will do, which things that he will do are considered the preparation for the coming of Moshiach. In other words, we find in the past, Eliyahu Hanavi did many things. Not only he did many things, even now, you have the Gemara tells us that Eliyahu Hanavi would come, he was common in different yeshivas of the Chacham, he appeared at different Amiroim. Furthermore, you have the Maral, others explain that when you have in the Gemara that Eliyahu Hanavi came, it doesn't mean that they physically saw Eliyahu Hanavi. It means sometimes an idea popped up in their head. The source was that was Eliyahu Hanavi. Eliyahu, Kum Tziyad Bris. Yeah, but Kum Tziyad Bris, I don't know if we walk away with any cognitive awareness of anything that changed within us. But it says that Eliyahu Hanavi, there's a certain hashpah of das, there's a certain inyana that Eliyahu Hanavi is mashpi, understanding in Torah, not just when he appears directly, those people that are zechet tegili Eliyahu, but he throws into, he would put into the Chacham's head certain things that was coming from Eliyahu Hanavi. There's many pulas Eliyahu Hanavi did, and he still does, and he will do before Moshiach will come. The question is, which ones of those pu'ulis, those activities that he will do, are identified as part of the processes of the coming of Moshiach? Well, I'll give you an example. Eliyahu Hanavi will come, and someone will tell him, I have a piece of meat over here. I don't know if it's treif or it's kosher. I don't know if I'm allowed to eat it. So Eliyahu Hanavi has the ability, through his power of prophecy, he could say, this meat, I could tell you through my power of prophecy that it's kosher. He had two pieces, whatever it is. I don't want to get into the halachic implications of this. Whatever it is, he wants to know. He's not passing any shaila. He just wants to know you got two pieces of meat mixed up. This is kosher. Whether it is accepted, it's not accepted. Let's say it's accepted, such a psak al pinavur, yeah? Does that have anything to do with the coming of Mashiach? That you're able to eat a piece of steak tonight and it's kosher? It's a pull, huh? It definitely does, yeah? So it's a pull that Eliyahu Hanavi will do, but what does it have to do with the coming of Mashiach? Not necessarily is it connected. So in other words, the Rebbe explains, Eliyahu Hanavi will come, will do many things. The question is, which activities that he does are part as a preparation for the Geula. So this is what the machlekes evolved around, that each one, the way the Rebbe explained in an interesting way, the Geula could, it's very, the Rebbe says the word, the Rebbe says this doesn't focus so much, but it's a very, if you think about it, it's a very deep concept. The Rebbe explains the idea of redemption, the Geula, has a number of facets, and every Tana, every sage, based on his experience of life, understood the inyan of Geula in a different way. For one person, the inyan of Geula meant that there's going to be a bitter of Yuchsin, there will be a clarity of the lineage of the Jewish people. For another one, there should be peace. In other words, each person, the idea of Geula is each one according to his mind, to his state where he was coming from. That's what he anticipated for the coming of Moshiach. So each one had a different thing that in other words, they're not arguing what are the pulas Moshiach will do. The question is those things which activities that he will do are part of Geula. And it all really boils down to how you define Geula. And that, the Rebbe doesn't explain so much about that. The Rebbe explains that you could have different people, like he says, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He, from one hand, spiritually, physically, he was persecuted. He had to hide in the cave for 12, 13 years. But spiritually, he was hiding in the holy name of Golos. It says that for him, there was no churban Beis HaMikdash, there was no destruction of Beis HaMikdash. So each person has experiences Geula, one in a physical way, one in a spiritual. There's different facets of Geula. And based on that, each one identified different pu'ulas of Eliyahu Hanavi as part of the Geula based on how he understood the Geula. This beer of the Rebbe is a very, very interesting beer. The Rebbe really connects the same thing. The Rebbe really says the same idea on the famous dispute of the Rambam and the Raiva that Mashiach will bring a change into the world. The Rebbe says here also it's not an argument what will happen. Even the Rambam agrees that eventually will be a change in the world. The question is, what aspects of Mashiach's activities are part of the Geula? The change in the world that will happen, according to the Rambam, is not part of the Geder, is not part of the definition of what Mashiach has to do. It's another thing, it's an additional thing. That's not what defines Mashiach. The Raiva, on the other hand, holds that is what defines Mashiach. That the change of nature in the times of Mashiach is a definition of Mashiach. Here too, the argument that Rebbe says doesn't boil down to it's not a plukta b'mitzvah. It's not an argument what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. Rather, it's an argument of how there's a definition according to halacha what Mashiach is, what he has to do, what he's all about. What things that will happen are part of that definition, and what things are extra, what things are nice things, beautiful things, but they're not part of the pool of Mashiach. So, this very similar thing. The Rebbe used the same idea, I think, in other places also. The Rebbe would sometimes, it's not a machlekes, what happened, didn't happen, but what is the definition of it? What is considered as the thing that's negeya to the matter at hand? Based on the Sikh of the Rebbe, comes out like this. Based on the Sikh of the Rebbe, comes out that the argument is not about what will happen, what won't happen. The argument is, another matter is, what is Eliyahu's main job definition as preparing the world for Gula? So the Chachamim hold that his job definition is to bring peace in the world. The Chachamim at the end of Masechta Eidiyos, where they say that he comes, Lahaseh Shalom B'Olam, his job definition is to bring peace into the world. Then you have the Chachamim in Masechta Eidavin, where they say Eliyahu Hanavi will come to be Mavaseh de Gula, come to tell everyone Moshiach is coming. According to them, the Rebbe says all the things that Eliyahu Hanavi will do, he'll taka do, but his job that is connected with Moshiach is one thing: to come and tell us that Moshiach is ready to come, and to prepare us for that. Everything else he'll do is nice, is beautiful. It's not directly part of his preparation to prepare the world for Moshiach. Now, it's a very geschmack. It's a very, very geschmack piece of. I mean, there's a few questions that arise based on this whole beer. That's a separate thing. It's a very, very interesting explanation of the Rebbe. There's one point that just derech efsher add over here. The Rebbe learns. The Rambam is paskening a halacha over here. The Rambam is telling us that the halacha follows the Chachamim. The Eliyahu Hanavi's job is not to come and to tell us who's kosher to marry, who's not kosher to marry. Eliyahu Hanavi's job is not to tell us which food is kosher, which food is safe. Eliyahu Hanavi's job is to make peace in the world. Now, according to the way the Rebbe is learning, Eliyahu Hanavi will do all the above. The question is just which activities that he's doing is part of his job as preparing the world for Moshiach. So if so, what does it mean that we're paskening that Eliyahu Hanavi will do this and this and this? What is it? The psak halach is that in other words, what difference does it make practically? We're saying if Eliyahu Hanavi will do everything. The question just is, which activities are part of his preparation for Mashiach? So when you say that we pasken like the Chacham, what do you mean we pasken like the Chacham? It's just a theoretical thing that we accept that Eliyahu Hanavi's job definition is just to make peace in the world. He will do everything else, but it's not part of the Gula. In other words, L'may nafkamin is a psak in halacha. There's a machlokes and there's a psak din. There's a halacha. The Rambam is telling us halacha what Eliyahu Hanavi is going to do. I'm asking the Shine.
So there's certain things that are conditions of Moshiach's coming. Dr. Rambam holds.
Right.
Last Shalom B'Olam is a condition of Moshiach's coming. Without it, Moshiach is not there.
Okay.
The Rachika craving could happen afterward also. It could happen afterward, happen before. That is not a condition that's coming.
Okay, I hear you. Good. Possibly. Another thought that I was thinking about, just Tzarech Efsher, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, is that even if Eliyahu Hanavi will do everything, if there's a certain job that's your definition, that's your main koch. That's what you have to spend your most time on. In other words, everything else takes secondary importance. So if you're sent on a shlichus to do this and this, you also do side things. So how much time, what is your main objective? Which things you do as your priority? Which things you do as, whatever, stop. I'm just mentioning it. Not fine, beautiful. Now, this is the way the Rebbe learned Pshat in this whole thing with B'yas Eliyahu. The Rebbe also throws in here another word, and this is what I wanted to focus on a little bit. In the Gemara, in the Chazal, there's a number of other opinions of when Eliyahu Hanavi will come. One famous opinion is that Eliyahu Hanavi will come before Tchiyas HaMesim. We have in the end of Masechta Seita, we have there's a famous Maimer Chazal which they have in a number of places that it says that there's Zehirus maybe there's Rizus. There's 10 steps of climbing the ladder of holiness. And it says when you reach towards the top of the ladder, you reach Ruach HaKodesh. Ruach HaKodesh brings to Tchiyas HaMesim, and Tchiyas HaMesim, there's different versions here, either comes through Eliyahu Hanavi or brings Eliyahu Hanavi. So, and there's Yerushalmi that brings this. This is quoted in a few places, and there's many versions here in this Maimer Chazal. There's a Yerushalmi that says that the pasuk that Hinei Nochi Shlech Lechem Hashem Hashem K'mi Bo Yom Hashem Agadol V'Anoir, before the great and awesome day of Hashem comes, First, the Tchias HaMeisim, that's the day of Hashem HaGadol V'Hanoyer, the great and awesome day of Moshiach. There's another similar, it's a little similar, but not exactly the same. There's other opinions that explain that Bo Yom Hashem HaGadol V'Hanoyer, the great and awesome day of Hashem, refers to the Yom Hadin, refers to the day of judgment, which happens either before Tchias HaMeisim or after Tchias HaMeisim. So we find a number of places when Eliyahu Hanavi will come. There is there's a medrash called Seder Olam. It's a medrash that lists through the history of different periods. The medrash says there that Eliyahu Hanavi, it says an interesting thing. I think it says there that Eliyahu Hanavi will come first before Moshiach comes, and then again he'll be hidden away, and he'll come before the war of Gog and Magog. In other words, he'll come once, he'll come a few times. So the Rebbe says that you could have answered all the stiras, all the contradictions in what he's coming before Mashiach comes, before Gog and Magog, before Tchias HaMeisim with this thing. He says the Rambam, from the reading of the Rambam, it seems Rambam is learning that these opinions are clearly arguing. The one that says he will come before Gog and Magog doesn't hold he'll come then, not before Mashiach will come. But the way the Rebbe learns here in this explanation of the Rebbe that Eliyahu Hanavi will come and do everything. The question is just what is his main thing from Mashiach comes. The Rebbe himself uses here, and this Sikha, the Rebbe seems to be learning that it is possible to say that there will be different periods. Eliyahu Hanavi will come, there will be different periods. First Eliyahu Hanavi will do this, then he'll do that. Everything is also is gehalten. Will come, side to do this, side to do that. Just the question is again, which activities are the main ones which the pasuk is highlighting as his unique activities, his unique preparing the world for Mashiach. Well, Enochnam, he could come through, the Rebbe says a lot, that he states Kufis, and Bias Eliyahu also, there will be 2 periods in Eliyahu Hanavi's come. First will come, prepare the world for Mashiach, the Gog and Magog, then will come for Tchias HaMeisim, whatever. Really what I wanted to speak about was this last point. I don't have much time, but kids in English, I wanted to speak about what's the catch of Eliyahu Hanavi with Tchias HaMeisim. What's the connection of Eliyahu Hanavi with Tchias HaMeisim? So there's a few interesting things. First of all, Eliyahu Hanavi is the only one that there's other people, the one that we associate the most that lives forever. So therefore, Api Pshat, a lot of Sfarim say, since Eliyahu Hanavi is the one that represents someone that lives forever, so therefore he's the one that brings about Tchias HaMeisim, which is making people live forever, bringing back people that passed away. Another explanation is a very interesting thing. The first one we find in the Torah openly that Tchias HaMeisim is Eliyahu Hanavi, and we find that we once discussed the Maimer Chazal, the Tzadikim will revive the dead when Mashiach comes. And we learn out from Sukkah, Miru, Bosh, and Gilad, whatever the ganze thing. We learned that out that they'll be like Eliyahu Hanavi and Elisha. So in other words, Eliyahu Hanavi seems to be the source in Tanakh for Tchias HaMeisim. So, again, it's another remez, another inyam where Tchias HaMeisim is especially connected to Eliyahu Hanavi. There's another word of Chassidus which the Rebbe mentions and Matzedek mentions also. The idea of Tchias HaMeisim, what does Tchias HaMeisim mean? Tchias HaMeisim means the physical body will become one with Elokus. That's why he's going to live forever. As long as a person feels himself somewhat of a Metzia, somewhat of, he exists, so that's already death, spiritual death. You're separated from the Eibishter, you feel yourself. In order to live forever means you have to be completely connected with Eibishter. Your body, physical body, not talking about the Neshama. Neshama is always connected. The Chiddush is the physical body is always, Eliyahu Hanavi is the one, of Chassidus, to explain that Eliyahu Hanavi's mile, even over Moshe Rabbeinu, was that he was mavad in his guf. He refined his body. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, so to say, whatever. Moshe Lamei, Stalamaitis, but his body was buried. Eliyahu Hanavi lives forever because Eliyahu Hanavi isn't as great as Moshe Rabbeinu and his neshama, but he's the one that personified the complete bidur, the complete refinement of the body. But since Eliyahu Hanavi personifies the complete refinement of the body in the way that the physical body comes wrong with the Eibusha, he brings the koyach with Tchias HaMeisim that the guf should live forever. What time is Maida? Okay, fine. The Meisim is done by Eliyahu Hanavi is Eichet given. The Meisim does the whole story in Tanakh.
Shlam is given Elisha. There
was Elisha was Mechai Meisim Tumais. We have the story of Eliyahu Hanavi stayed in the house. and there was a child, and he became sick, and it says Nachazak says that this child is Moshiach ben Yosef.
Yeah.
This child that says Moshiach ben Yosef, and Eliyahu Hanavi came. As a whole, a lot of talk over here.
It's not the Zach is. It's very interesting. Is in the Gemara, the market of Kriya
It's from Elisha.
is from Elisha by Eliyahu. And the Gemara asks how
There's one thing I wanted to finish off, right? So the Gemara says that for him he didn't see it.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
I want to know
because he himself, because he was a continuation of that Indian of Chai, so it's terrible.
He didn't see him anymore. He didn't see him. But the Rambam Taka learns that Eliyahu Hanavi Taka passed away. And according to the Rambam, the Pshat in Tchias HaMeisim comes to Eliyahu is a very different Pshat. According to him, it means that Eliyahu Hanavi is the first one that will stand up at Tchias HaMeisim. The Rambam learns a whole different, according to the Rambam, comes to a whole different explanation here. That Eliyahu Hanavi, the Rambam's, the Rambam it's not, we don't know if it shows the Rambam, it's something called Pirkei Hatzlacha. It's in the Pshal, it shows the Rambam, it's something Pirkei Hatzlacha. It's more of a, it's not a signal, it's Miyuchas of the Rambam. The Rebbe brings quotes that we don't know for sure it's from the Rambam. It's written in a very different style than all those others from. He writes that Tchias HaMeisim is an outcome of Moshiach. What's the raya? Because Eliyahu Hanavi will come. And Eliyahu Hanavi is Tchias HaMeisim. That's what the Rambam learns. So the Rambam learns Tchias HaMeisim revealed the Eliyahu Hanavi. Not sure that Eliyahu Hanavi brings Tchias HaMeisim. Tchias HaMeisim brings Eliyahu Hanavi. And the Barbara will write, it'll be the first one. Reisha come, fine. Strange spread.